I am exhausted. I know you are too. And I know the coaches and the players and everyone involved with World Cup qualifying feels the same. The players, for crying out loud. The players, we're hearing, some of them are jumping on a flight right after the game in Columbus, heading back to Spain. Serginho Dest, according to John Champion, Serginho Dest and Yunus Musa on their way to Frankfurt to join their teams for this weekend. The workload we're putting on these players is insane. We'll talk about that another time. Thibaut Courtois sounded off on it. He's 100% correct. This is insanity because I feel exhausted. I was sitting on my couch. But this took a lot out. These 3 games in a World Cup window. The good news is the last time that is going to happen. November, it's just 2 games. Then in January, 2 games. I think February, there's 1 game. And then in March, there's 3 games, but hopefully qualifying is determined by then. And the United States are in good shape. I will say the action in round 6 of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers was the best yet. Obviously, we're going to talk about the United States and their come-from-behind victory over Costa Rica, which was a must-needed win, but there are a lot of things to work on, a lot of question marks. The Canada fight back. The crowd in Columbus was great. Some of the songs they sang could be a little better, but I'm not going to nitpick. The crowd in Toronto was fantastic as Canada came roaring back, and Alphonso Davies had the play goal of the competition. He is on his way to being the best player in North American history, if you can imagine that. So you think of the great ones. There are some good ones. Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey and Cuauhtemoc Blanco and Hugo Sanchez. This guy's going to be the best. He's going to be the best. He's already creeping up to them. By the way, I want to thank the folks at Umbro. I would never, ever wear an England rugby shirt or anything England, really. But this is lovely, so I'm wearing it today. It doesn't make sense to wear it on American Day, American soccer conversation. But that's all I really talk about these days, so better now than never. You know, I played a lot of rugby in my day, a long time. They always said, never trust a man with a rose on his shirt. This is dapper, huh? This is as widest as it will be. So maybe I'll give it away. If you would like to get your hands on this England rugby jersey, let me know. Maybe I can give it away. So let's talk about the game here on the Soccer OG. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow. That is ridiculous. Check out the Soccer OG podcast. We have a great one up there right now with Franklin Leonard, who works for the Blacklist. We talked about the phenomenon of Ted Lasso. We talked about the U.S. team. Had a very interesting thing to say about who should coach this team perhaps moving forward. So check it out, the Soccer OG podcast. Boom, where all podcasts are available. And please subscribe here. Thank you for all those who are supporting. The numbers are going up. The views are going up. I'm just ecstatic to be here. And by the way, the next Soccer OG podcast, fellow U.S. men's national team YouTuber, I can't believe I said that. It just sounded so weird coming out of my lips. Tactical Manager is going to be on next week, so tune in. We're going to have a good chat about connecting the generations of fans for U.S. soccer, because we're all out there. I know there's a young audience, there's an older audience, there's a middle ground audience. We all see it differently, but we've got to align on some of the commonality. Because together we are strong. Together we are strong. Did you ever watch King Lear? The 3 siblings? They split up, but together they are strong. Let us get into it. Let's quickly look into the starting 11. And I knew it was coming. And Paul Arriola was in the starting 11, had an injury, and was pulled out. And I saw the Twitter response, and it was nasty. It's nasty. He's an American player. You preface it by saying, well, I hope Paul is okay. Well, good luck to Tim Weah. I like to see him a little better. Not what was said. Come on, people. Come on. We don't know what's wrong. Do you think he wanted to step out of that game after being announced in the starting 11? This is a once in a lifetime or twice in a lifetime opportunity. So let's be supportive of our guys. So here's the starting 11. Obviously, the big news beforehand, it broke. Zach Steffen was coming in for Matt Turner. Anthony Robinson on the left. We finally had Chris Richards get his debut alongside Miles Robinson, who came back in the 11 after missing Panama. Serginho Dest, the same, comes in at right back. We'll talk about his goal. The midfield, which to me looks like the midfield, knock on wood, they stay healthy, which is a big, big question mark. Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa. Musa, to me, was the MVP of the game in Columbus. And then Weah comes in for Areola, Pepe, and Brendan Aronson up top. The young kids got to run. It was great to watch them go. They're a beautiful team to watch. And that's why I always say this U.S. men's national team is going to get fans worldwide, especially when they blossom, especially when Pulisic and Gio Reyna come back. By the way, the injury situation for Gio Reyna is starting to get really foggy. So everyone who thinks that Reyna and Pulisic are going to come back and be ready to go November, don't get ahead of yourselves because it may not happen. So the team that we saw, the squad we had, maybe with a couple new faces, is the team we're going to see in that next World Cup qualifier against Mexico, November the 12th in Cincinnati. I will be up there in Cincinnati, so let me know if you're going to be there, and we're going to maybe have a couple sea tails. I'll be wearing something a little more patriotic. So I want to talk about the Zach Steffen thing because this is a little... Look, Greg Berhalter didn't have a good day in Panama. I don't think he had a really good day here. Zach Steffen made a howler of a mistake. It looked like a player who hasn't played a lot. And that's why I don't understand why, hindsight's 20/20 obviously, but I didn't like it. I thought it might happen. But putting him in there in this situation. Overall, you wanted to get these guys in there. You wanted to get Richards in there. You wanted to get Weah a little bit more. You wanted to get Busio in there, which they did. You wanted to get these guys in there in case you needed them for Mexico. You don't want to throw them into Mexico, right? This is a very poor Costa Rica team. If you ask me, of the 8 teams, maybe Honduras is the worst. Costa Rica is the second worst. Everyone telling me that Jamaica is the worst. They're not. They're not. Honduras and Costa Rica are in a very strange transition and are not very good. So U.S. should have won this by more. The fact that Costa Rica had a free kick at the end and almost were in the neighborhood of tying it was very unsettling. It was a very sloppy game overall. I know we're going to still have the debate of the MLS versus the European-based players. Let's remember that game in Panama was a different story than getting to play at home. Everything about it, the surface, the atmosphere, the locker room, whatever it is, it's all in your favor. And getting back to Zach Steffen, it looked shaky. Thankfully, it was a good game to put him in because he didn't really face anything. But you do want to see him make some saves. And the goal at the minute mark, he came way off his line, not 100% sure why. And then he was grounded as the ball went by him. He had a couple more less than solid. But I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying this is to be expected when you bring in a goalkeeper. I imagine Steffen probably starts, but if he doesn't get games at Man City, I put Matt Turner back in there. I just don't think it was a smart management move from Berhalter looking forward. But he went with that athletic team, and I will say this, falling behind in the first minute is a lot better than falling behind in the 15th or 20th or 30th minute, because immediately you just, we have a full game. Almost ignore that goal. Let's go out and score. And they got just enough in the end. I do want to call this the good luck game. This was the game that the United States had good fortune in. And you're all due one. You're going to have a bad luck game. I'm not sure if the USA had it. You could say it was Panama. I'm not sure that was bad luck. That was just bad. They'll have a bad luck game where the decisions go. Maybe Jamaica, we saw that with the decisions not being made. But you talk about the Chris Richards slide in, which I thought was a penalty. It wasn't egregious. Could have been a no call. I will say Danny Parchment of Jamaica is a really good CONCACAF referee. I know the Rexach of Grenada, who officiated the Jamaica game, heavily criticized, and rightfully so. He wasn't good. He was a mess out there. I saw Taylor Twellman have to go on Sportsmax in the Caribbean and apologize, and there was some undertones saying that what Taylor said was racist, and I go, look, no, we don't play that card here. It wasn't. That was a referee out of his depths. If we want Grenadian referees officiating in these big games, let them get experience in Mexico. Let them get experience in Jamaica. Let them get experience in Major League Soccer. And that's that. Parchment was great. Really good. No nonsense. I like him. I think if the World Cup rolls around and CONCACAF throws a guy in, why not Dan Parchment? The game itself, the U.S. battled back, and as I said, I thought Yunus Musa was the MVP, and he was durable over 3 games. He has locked it down. That, to me, is the big development here. Serginho Dest, mixed bag, but amazing going forward. Amazing. And we saw how they made space, and they went right after it. Really aggressive. Nice to watch first 45 minutes for the U.S. They kept pushing on. Serginho Dest, you could see how good he is with both feet. Curled. That was really his goal. The U.S. had a nice build-up on it, but then he changed it with that change of direction and hit it off the left foot to the top corner. I will talk about the good luck game because the second goal should have never happened. Weston McKennie left it very short. It deflects off of Tico. It goes to Dest, who sets up Weah, and he finishes near post. Remember, Keylor Navas came out. Leo Moreira came in, and I truly believe Navas would have made that save. Water under the bridge. The U.S. were able to get that game winner. And Weah, who did not play well, but got the goal. They were about to replace him with Matthew Hoppe, who finally got in there. Another guy you need to get minutes. You need to get these guys minutes. I was really happy to see Richards get a run because I think you may lean into him. So I'll get to that in a moment. But the good luck game. The good luck game. First, the no penalty call. Second, the Weah goal. And third, the horrible giveaway. The combination between Richards and Miles Robinson clearly looked like a combination who haven't played together. Brian Ruiz intercepts. And if there is a central, and he was playing as a center forward at the time, all 7 other teams in the Octagon, or all 6 other Octagon teams, would have gone in there and had at the very least a shot on goal, probably scored. But Brian Ruiz has no legs, and he was consumed by Miles Robinson, who turned it over, and no shot was taken. That could have ended very badly. It went to the right guy. I mean, Costa Rica, they've got to find some young players. This was bad. I felt bad. Alvaro Saborio, 39. Christian Bolaños, what? If you're not going to start playing your kids now, Costa Rica. Start playing them now. By the way, the Weah goal was called an own goal, so we have that. We look at this now. The United States are at 11 points. It was a good effort. It was just a little bit rudderless, but the kids found a way. But they should have put that away even further. The subs, Yedlin for Dest, Hoppe for Weah. Busio looked good coming in for Musa. Zimmerman came in. For Aronson, Zardes came in for Pepe. Zardes had some nice plays at the end. Remember that play where he laid his body on the line? And another chance that the U.S. were not able to convert. Another question mark on Greg Berhalter. You're up 2-1. Bunker down, baby. Why were there 8 U.S. players in the attacking third looking for another goal? Another chapter 4 of good luck for the U.S. because they could have been caught with their pants down. So they got the point. They got the victory. Remember, Costa Rica in 2017 was the game the U.S. lost at home. That for me, and I think many of you, was the first time in qualifying you probably thought to yourself, maybe we don't qualify for the World Cup. And if they lost here and they were down, you probably think the same thing. And it probably could have come to fruition. Because there's a lot of stuff brewing. Canada's a solid Canada, Mexico, USA. Panama's hanging around. El Salvador may hang around. Someone could get hot like Jamaica, who haven't had any good luck. And they could get hot. So you're not there yet, but at least you have a cushion here if the U.S. Pepe wasn't sharp. Weah wasn't sharp. The effort is obviously there, and they push on. Pepe was so clinical in the games he scored goals. He had some chances, didn't do much with them. That's okay, though. He's the guy. He's our number 9. Two big concerns for me, the crossing. And I mentioned Anthony Robinson, and people said, he's great. And I'm not picking on Anthony Robinson, but he was the biggest culprit because I believe I looked at his crosses. I think he had about 9 crosses. None of them were on target. One short cross kind of was close. Everything he overcooked, undercooked. We need someone there who can cross the ball because that's how this U.S. team is built. You need someone who can do it because you're going to get a lot of opportunities. And with a guy like Pepe and maybe Matthew Hoppe and Jossie Zardes and Jordan Pefok possibly, you can't waste those opportunities. So if it's Dest or if it's Robinson or if it's an overlapping Musa or underlapping Musa or Aronson, it's got to be better. It just does. Busio played at the number 8, by the way. Everyone told me he wouldn't play at number 8. I said he could, and he would, and he did, and he looked good. I'm not listening to all you guys anymore. Making me look bad. The crosses are the big issue. Weston McKennie has an identity crisis. He's very important for what he does. But some of the runs and decisions just don't add up. I think he's still getting there. The talent is oozing off of him. There's no doubt about it. But there has to be something a little bit more from him so we can feel comfortable. Because there was never a moment in that game I felt comfortable, ever. They looked great, and I'm glad we got some minutes for the kids, but never felt comfortable. So what to expect November 12th, I don't know. I think we have a good idea. I hope Pulisic and or Reyna are ready, but I just can't give a stamp of approval on that just yet. Maybe Josh Sargent comes back into view. Joe Scally gets some more games. I hope he's an option. Jonathan Brooks comes back. I think we needed some bodies centrally because we had to play Richards by necessity. Zimmerman played a ton of minutes. And Mark McKenzie, and that was it. 4 center backs. So I think I've spoken enough. We will see you, Cincinnati. Let me know about the jersey. Subscribe to the Soccer OG. We'll continue to discuss this team because it's the best thing going right now. 3 big points. Celebrate. Enjoy it. Have a tequila. Just relax. Or have a nice sparkling water.